Hello everyone and welcome back to the third episode of the Urban Pixel Minecraft City exhibit. Last episode we left off in the arterial roads and the schools and all that stuff, and so today we're going to go into a little bit more detail about the buildings we have located here. And so let's begin with the high school. And so as you can see, each building has been very meticulously designed for maximum efficiency of traffic flow and people and everything like that. So I'm just walking around here, taking a look at what we have to show, and okay, let's go inside. Okay, so let's start with the roads that are outside of the school. One of them connects to the arterial road, and one of them connects to the suburban area like this. And it creates this sort of intersection like here, which only merges into this one street right here, which is a one-way street. And so the reason why I designed it this way is because in many Western countries, the right side of the road is forward like this. So you can merge on into the slow gradual turn like this with other cars that are also going to the right. And it can merge in like this. And also with this flow, you can also go left into this large parking lot here. And because of its close proximity to the school entrance, this parking was designed to mostly be reserved for teachers and school staff. Okay, so this is evidently the drop-off area, right by the large school entrance, very grand with a little bit of a roof on top. Lots of glass windows. As you can see, the school interior is largely unfinished. However, we will go through the plan and discuss what we're going to do with this interior, which I might do on camera. Okay, so we begin with this first hallway here, ceiling lights like this. So it's very open, right? It's a tall roof, it's a great introduction, and it's very bright. That's the thing. And schools are often very bright. A dark school is gloomy and not appreciated at all by the students. And so I made sure that I added as much light as possible to make the school really seem as alive as possible. And then with the brick exterior, what I did was I added a double layer of walls. And so on the interior, you only see this white. And then each part of the brick and then glass side has like this like windowsill kind of like thing where kids can sit or put stuff. So that was a design that I incorporated so that the bricks don't show through on the other side. And also provides a sort of windowsill thing. Like a lot of schools you may see will have this. And also, it's a large hallway, a large space. So when students get gathered up into this area for drop-off or pickup, or when buses come to this area, there will be plenty of space for students to congregate here. Where this is I'm going to make this into the cafeteria. It's a separate room. It's located right in this big hallway, and it's very easy to access. A large room, lots of space for the lunch tables to go here, and a kitchen in the back, and all sorts of things with water pipes and electricity and the gas stove connecting this whole area so that it can all be kept in one area. And to the left of that, at the end of this hallway, is these glass entrance doors, and of course, the gym school, which is the only part of the school where I had a semi-furnished interior. And so we could see that the walls are padded with these red and blue pads, which you see very often in schools. You don't want kids like running into the walls like this, so these pads are like designed to be very soft. They go all the way around the school, and often you'll see this alternating color pattern. Sometimes you'll see a one-color pattern in schools, actually. In fact, my school has a all-blue pad pattern. However, I wanted to really emphasize that these were the gym pads, and so I made them red and blue to sort of really emphasize what is being shown here. And so one more thing I wanted to talk about before we move on from this gym is that a recurring design or a strategy that I use in the city is basically this. So let's quickly change the time to night. Oops. And let's show how we were able to solve this problem. And so, as you can see, this roof is quite high, and at night, this light would probably not be able to reach the floor. And the answer, it does not reach the floor. I've tried it many times. There's no block in Minecraft that can emit light onto a ground level at a certain height. It's only about this high, and it could already be dark on the floor. And so how could I have possibly gotten the floor to look this bright? Well, in Minecraft, there are certain blocks called slabs, which are half blocks that can take up one half the space like this. So if you were to have like one block like here, this would be a top slab. And in that same block level, you can have a bottom slab. And so slabs, because of their thinness, allow light to pass through. And so what I did was, underneath every single slab, I have a light block, and that would shine straight through the thin piece of the slab. So there it gives off this effect that these lights are actually hitting the ground. Well, in reality, they are not at all. In fact, if I were to remove the lights underneath the ground, this floor would be completely dark. And so this is how I overcame the problem of high ceiling lights, especially in a gym like this where roofs need to be pretty high. You know, lots of sports being played in here, balls going up in the air and stuff like that. So I really wanted to make sure that I had all that. Okay, so let's move on. Once again, a large, spacious hallway for students to congregate. I will be putting lockers on left and right sides, and lots of classrooms here, including an office enclave right here, so different types of rooms for teachers and staff, printing rooms, copy rooms, all sorts of stuff. And maybe a library here in this large corner with this lots of glass right here. So I reserved this a lot of space for libraries and even like maybe a swimming pool. And then the classrooms are located in this wing of the school. And so as you can see, there is a one staircase here, which I used the double staircase like this because this is the design that we use in our school. And I find it to be very, very cool. So I just decided to use this. And I'm going to be putting this, so this is stair A. I'm going to be having a stair B at the end of this hallway on the left. So that's not the only staircase. That's very, very crowded at the end. And of course, classrooms will be located to the left and right sides with doors and lockers all throughout the hallway. And as you can see, I did do a example hallway on the second floor like this. And so it's not very, very, it's a little bit plain, but the details are there. These lockers, I used iron doors because that's the closest I can get to something that looks like a locker, and I would put it against the wall like this so that it looks like it's into the wall, and you can open it like this. And then classrooms are located, there's a little bit of space in the lockers between each room. And then I'm going to number each room, of course. And here's just an example classroom. This happens to be a science room. As you can see, there are tables and chairs and a typical whiteboard in the back with a teacher's desk. And then these are lab tables. And so students, when they're finished with their work, they can come back here and they could do lab work at these tables right here. And just ignore these. I have just put these villages here to test how high the benches should be. And oops, okay. And then here we have these distinct look of the ceiling lights. I put slabs on it to make it look like the lights were a half a block higher. Okay, so that is it for the school. Okay, and so that wraps things up for the school part of our suburban area. And in the next episodes, I'll be talking about a lot more buildings that come on the left and the right here. And so stay tuned for the next episode. I'll probably be talking about this plaza, the volleyball gym, and the public storage building. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this Urban Pixel Minecraft exhibit. I'll see you in the next episode.